You are listening to the People Station on greatdayradio.com.
For our TikTok and Instagram fans, please visit greatdayradio.com to listen to the full discussion of this podcast. If you are interested in advertising on any of our social media platforms, podcast, or website, visit greatdayradio.com. Click on advertising for more information. Thank you for your support. Let's start the show.
Welcome to greatdayradio.com Relationship Podcast. For this podcast, while we are focusing on the overall conversation about modern-day dating perspectives, here is the real question. Are men emotionally checked out of the dating scene or the pursuit of finding love? From a personal perspective, an overwhelming yes. From the many blog posts I've been reading, men feel emotionally exhausted with pursuing relationships and stepping back from the dating scene. Certainly, not everyone's experience is the same.
That's interesting, Mikey. Modern dating is causing unprecedented levels of emotional burnout, with recent studies showing over 68% of men are stepping back from dating altogether. But the reasons behind this trend are more surprising than you might think.
That's such a striking statistic. I've been noticing more conversations about dating fatigue, but I had no idea the numbers were that high.
Well, what's really fascinating is how this connects to decision theory. Barry Schwartz's research shows that having too many options actually paralyzes us. And with dating apps giving us literally thousands of potential matches, we're seeing this effect play out in real time.
So it's almost like we've turned dating into this overwhelming buffet where people can't decide what to put on their plate?
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. The research shows that when people have too many choices, they're not just indecisive, they're actually less satisfied with whatever choice they do make. They keep wondering if they missed out on something better.
You know what I find particularly fascinating about this? How does this endless choice affect our ability to form genuine connections?
Well, the data on this is pretty eye-opening. Studies show that while people are having more initial interactions than ever before, they're forming fewer meaningful relationships. It's like we're all suffering from what researchers call connection inflation. More quantity, but less quality.
That reminds me of something I read about how our brains process digital versus real-world interactions. They're fundamentally different, right?
Oh man, this is where it gets really interesting. Neuroscience research shows that digital interactions don't trigger the same level of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, as face-to-face meetings. So we're literally getting less emotional satisfaction from our connections.
So we're essentially trying to fill an emotional need with a digital solution that can't quite deliver what we're looking for.
Exactly. And here's another layer to consider. The research by Levant shows that men specifically are caught in this double bind. They're expected to be emotionally vulnerable in relationships while still maintaining traditional masculine traits. It's creating this intense psychological pressure.
That must create such a challenging dynamic in actual dating situations. How are people adapting to these pressures?
Well, the data shows some pretty concerning trends. Men are reporting higher levels of anxiety and depression related to dating than ever before. But here's what's really interesting. They're also less likely to seek support or talk about these challenges due to societal stigma.
That sounds like a perfect storm for emotional burnout.
And you know what makes it even more complex? The research shows that social media and dating apps are actually rewiring our reward systems. We're becoming addicted to the validation of matches and likes, but these don't translate into meaningful connections.
That's fascinating. It's like we're confusing digital validation for actual emotional connection.
Exactly. And the studies by Finkel show this is leading to what they call romantic unemployment, where people are technically available but too emotionally exhausted to actively pursue relationships.
Well, that certainly explains the growing trend of people taking extended breaks from dating.
And here's what's particularly interesting about those breaks. Research shows they're actually beneficial for long-term relationship success. People who step back to process their experiences and emotions tend to make better relationship choices when they return to dating.
That makes so much sense from a psychological perspective. It's like hitting the reset button on your emotional well-being.
The data also shows something unexpected. Younger generations are actually leading the charge in challenging these dating patterns. They're more likely to prioritize mental health and set boundaries with technology.
That's encouraging to hear. Do you think we're seeing a shift toward more sustainable dating practices?
Well, the trends suggest we're at a turning point. More people are recognizing the importance of emotional intelligence in dating, and there's growing support for more authentic ways of connecting. But here's the key. It's going to require some fundamental changes in how we approach relationships in the digital age.
That really brings everything full circle. From the challenges of too many choices to the importance of authentic connection.
And that might be the most valuable insight from all this research. Sometimes less really is more when it comes to meaningful relationships. The future of dating might not be about having more options, but about being more intentional with the connections we choose to pursue. Before we wrap up, Mikey, what are some potential solutions or approaches men might consider to mitigate this emotional fatigue?
Great question, DJD. Building supportive communities where open dialogue is encouraged can be a start. Plus, actively working on self-awareness and breaking down the traditional barriers to emotional expression are crucial steps. And seeking connections beyond just romantic ones is important too. Fostering friendships and social circles that support emotional well-being can make a big difference.
Well, that's about all we have time for this episode. For those of you listening, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your take on this topic? Let us know on our social media or through our website at greatdayradio.com. Thanks for tuning in to Your Relationship Podcast. Until next time, keep exploring and understanding the complexities of the dating world.
Thank you for listening to greatdayradio.com. Are you ready to win some cool prizes and awesome giveaways? If so, you need to visit greatdayradio.com. Click on Join Our Contest and enter your email to get our latest newsletter that will update on the latest contest, giveaways, and new podcast shows. Also, with our successful podcast, many have asked if we would offer courses on many of the topics we discuss. Stay locked in as we welcome our all-new Great Day Radio Boot Camp. In it, you will have access to lessons that will help you achieve goals such as learning how to make a living as a mobile DJ, learning how to start and monetize your very own podcast show. These are just a couple of the topics. So, stay connected and get ready to level up for self-improvement. Again, please visit greatdayradio.com and sign up for our newsletter. Get ready for our next episode.
If you would like to support our podcast and the creative content we provide, there are several ways you can help support us. For example, you sponsor an ad by visiting greatdayradio.com, click on advertising, or you can support our advertisers you see on our website. And lastly, you can click on the Support the Show in the description of the podcast you are listening to donate using our Cash App, such as Venmo, or search Great Day Radio on your Venmo account. Thank you for sharing the love. Peace out, my party peeps.
You are listening to the best podcast from the USA to the UK on greatdayradio.com.